Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing a 2022 Ford F-150 Raptor, and in today's video I'm going to explain why this specific Raptor is like the perfect spec on a new Raptor. Now before I get in the video, a huge shout out and thank you to National GMC for giving me some time with this Raptor. They have this one available and then also a white one as well as the new GMC products. So if you're looking for a new GMC or a cool used vehicle, reach out to them. Link to their website in the description down below. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into the video. So under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 450 horsepower and then 510 pound-feet of torque, with fuel economy being 15 around town and then 18 on the highway. And the cool thing about the Gen 3s is Ford doesn't limit power as much on these as they do on the Gen 2s. So even though the power outputs are the same, because of the new suspension on this, you get more power earlier on in the gearing, if that makes sense, with the Gen 3 versus the Gen 2. But anyways, cool powertrain. Now I'm going over the next few things on this particular Raptor. First off, it's blue and it looks amazing. I think that blue is just such a cool color on the Raptor, and so that's the next thing. And you know, just like every other Raptor, you have the accent piece here on the center with the Raptor logo, and then we have the oversized marker lights, and then also off to the side. And then notice the daytime running light is also finished in orange. Got these bright LED headlights. It says Raptor right there. And then we have the metallic gray here for the front bumper. And then we have the aggressive exposed skid plate here on the front end with the tow hooks. And then you have the two sets of fog lights. The fog lights that have the covering over them are brighter than the fog lights that do not have the coverings over them, if that makes sense. And you can see just how aggressive that approach angle is. But yeah, just, I mean, with all the accent pieces in blue, it looks so cool. Now coming around the side here, we've got 17-inch wheels, and wrapped around those wheels are 35s in the front and in the rear as well. And this has the bead lock capable wheels. That's another thing that I love. And you guys can see with the design has that cool off-roader appearance, and just look how much sidewall there is with these tires. And then here's a quick look at the front suspension. We have the new live valve from Fox, which is an amazing system. It makes on-road ride quality really smooth, and then it is really good at dampening large bumps and jumps off-road. We got the giant oversized fender flares with the venting here on the side, and then also with the off-road side steps here. And then again, all the accent pieces in conjunction with this blue. Look how cool that is. Now, another big benefit of the Gen 3 over the Gen 2 is a couple things back here. First off, the new Gen 3 has the Trombone Exhaust. It's an active exhaust system. It's a lot louder than the Gen 2s, but you can also make it quieter if you want. You got the new live valve, right? Which again, like I said, is much better at dampening. And we've got coil suspension here in the back end, which helps the truck stay nice and planted. And that's why Ford can give this truck more power in lower gears than the Gen 2, because you don't have a bunch of wheel hop and everything in the back end. The truck stays planted, so it can just basically sit down and accelerate off into the desert. So here's a key fob. We have our unlock, lock, remote start, and then the drop down for the tailgate. We have a payload capacity of 1,169 pounds and then a towing capacity of over 8,000 pounds, which is very practical. Now this specific Raptor, notice it has bed liner already. We've got the measuring charts back here, LED lights in the bed, and full power outlet. So like this truck's all ready to go from the factory. And then notice the LED cargo light. And then we have Ford's bed step system, will tailgate step, and this has the auto raise tailgate, which is very nice because the tailgate is pretty heavy with the bed step system that Ford adds to these vehicles. Now finishing things up here with the rear, all of these new Raptors have the cool new F-150 taillights, and then we have the giant Ford logo here on the back. I prefer this setup versus the little Ford oval on the Raptors. So again, that's another reason why this specific truck is awesome. And then obviously we got the giant Raptor exhaust tips and parking sensors there at the bottom. Let's pop inside. Now the next thing I love about this truck is the interior on this. So this has the upgraded Raptor interior, so you guys can see really nice here with the padding. Then you got the nice contrasted stitching. And I know I own a 37 package with the blue seats, but these seats are a lot more practical because they're easier to clean off being black. And I love the little Alcantara inserts on them because it looks really cool. And these seats, because they're leather, they, you know, kind of wear in over time, so they get softer, whereas the seats I have do not get softer. So that's another thing that I love about the spec on this truck, is it doesn't have the blue seats. We got the cup holders here at the top. heated seats down below at the vents, and then you can see the power outlets, rubber floor mats as well. And you can see under seat storage. And all Raptors now come in the Super Crew. You can't get a Super Cab anymore. And also this one has the carbon fiber package, forgot to mention. That's another thing I like, is that. And the Bang & Olufsen sound system, but so yeah. Now going over things here at the front, you can see again, same thing with the material use here at the top and then down below. All of our window controls, more of that cool carbon fiber. Blind spot monitoring for the mirrors, so it's got safety tech. 3 memory seat functions. And then again, Bang & Olufsen sound system. And this has the speaker on the headrest, which does improve sound system quality. So that's another thing that I like. And then also Raptor logo there. And you can see just how aggressive these bolsters are. Power adjustments here on the side of the seat. Pedal layout down below. And then notice pedal adjustment. We got our light controls, mirror lights, parking brake setup. Steering wheel is power adjustable as well. Let's pop in. Now let's start things off with the steering wheel. So you can see it's pretty neutral from a color perspective. You can see the stitching there at the center, but we do have the cool race marker there at the top. Gigantic paddle shifters here on the back, just as nice as what you have on the Gen 2. Now this truck has all the safety tech, which me being a person that does a ton of driving, I really appreciate this because not only does it have adaptive cruise control, it has steering assist, and so the truck can kind of drive itself. And then obviously we have all of our different settings here for the steering, the suspension, the exhaust. We'll get into that in a moment. And 22 Raptors have the R mode, which is also another big plus. Turn signal, windshield wiper stock. And let's get into the next stuff. First off, I love the R mode because you basically can set this up however you want it. And then once you press R, it puts you into R mode, as you can see. And so then every single time you get in the truck, whatever you have the R mode set at, then boom, you can just press that instead of having to individually select things like steering, for example, right? I have to go through and manually select the different steering modes. Suspension, same thing, and exhaust on my 21 Raptor. So that's a little bit annoying. Obviously, you do have the drive modes you can go into, and so if you like, you know, any of these different drive modes, how they have their setup, you can do that. But like the problem is I don't really fit within these drive modes personally, but I'd fit within the R mode because what I like to do personally is sport, normal, and then Baja, so that I'm as loud as possible, the steering is stiff, but then the suspension is nice and compliant. And also I love how the Raptor comes with this digital gauge cluster now. That's another big benefit to the new Gen 3. Now we've got the 12-inch display here, and this Raptor has the 360 camera system, which not only helps out with parking because, you know, this is a big full-sized pickup truck with a wide body, and you guys can see that's also for the towing, which is also pretty cool. But it helps out with off-road stuff. So for example, right, if you have an off-road obstacle and you're like, hey, am I gonna hit this rock on the front? You have all these front camera views to help out. So yeah, this one has the 360 camera system, which I really appreciate. As for the 12-inch display, I like it because you have shortcut buttons here at the bottom. You've got this auxiliary tab here off to the side, and then you have the main tab here. Response time's great. It has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. It's just really easy to use, and it looks great here at the center of the dash. And then also notice we have like our off-road cruise control, stability control, parking assistance, right? It's got a lot of nice modern features. We've got our Pro Trailer Assist, trailer brake controls. We have our locker for the rear, driveline select. We have 4-wheel auto as well as 4-wheel high. And in the new Gen 3, the 4-wheel high and 4-wheel auto are actually usable, unlike the system in the Gen 2. And we have trail turn assist also with the Raptor. You can see the volume controls here. And then we've got our climate controls, dual zone climate, heated, cooled seats. And you can see here with this covering, also carbon fiber. And then notice here we've got our wireless phone charger, couple cup holders, and then we have the fold down shifter, and this one has the workbench center console, which, you know, if you make McDonald's runs, this thing is quite handy. And also notice pretty neutral from a color perspective. And this has the lock box from Ford. And then you can see here with the dual glove box, tons of storage space, right, with that. And we got more carbon fiber on the outside, and you can see the padding here at the top. And last but not least, of course, power sliding window, which, you know, comes with Raptors. And we get a bunch of auxiliary switches, which also come with the Raptors. But this one has the panoramic sunroof, so you can kind of lighten up the interior a little bit, which is another big positive. And then one last thing that I forgot to mention on the outside of the truck was the fact that this doesn't have any of the crazy decals. Now, I love the decals, but Without the decals, again, this has just kind of like a cleaner appearance from an exterior aesthetics perspective. And then the last thing has to come to the pricing. So I've reviewed quite a few Raptors, and so I'm pretty familiar with the sticker price on the trucks. So obviously a base Raptor, right, you're right around $70,000 nowadays. But if you load one up like this, it's still under $80,000, which is a lot of money. But if you're gonna spend $70,000, which is roughly the base price of a Raptor, you might as well spend a little bit more and get this exact truck with this color and the wheels and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's worth it. Obviously, that is not to the market right now. Market on Raptors is pretty crazy. They're going for $20,000, $30,000 over sticker right now, whether it's a 35 package like this or a 37 package. But my point still stands with this particular truck being, I don't know, in my opinion, the perfect spec. And if I didn't wrap my vehicle's crazy colors, I think this is how I would spec it out from the factory with 35s. And also another benefit with the 35s is you get more travel than the 37 package. Yes, the 37 package has more ground clearance because it has bigger tires, but this has more travel. You have 14 inches in the front, 15 in the rear, whereas with the 37 package, you have 13 in the front and 14 in the rear. Now, I want you guys to let me know what you think about this Gen 3 Raptor, if you think this is the perfect spec or what you would change about this truck. Anyways, again, a huge shout out and thank you to the National GMC here in American Fork for giving me some time with the truck. Check out their inventory in the description down below. I'll see all of you in the next video.